10 tons of steel, 2 miles of chains, the most punishing environment for any professional athlete to ever step into. Welcome to the Elimination Chamber. Hello, friends. It is Ridiculously Over Anthony Floyer here with you tonight for this for one of our special WWE Network special preview editions of the Wrestling Forum. And tonight, it's not the Authority, it's not the Yes Movement. Tonight, it's the two dudes with attitude who are running this show here tonight. Derek Ferreira, of course, not with us. He has a prior commitment. And, of course, our other colleague, Michael Bullock, he has, of course, the Special Olympics Summer Games up at the University of Rhode Island. But he will be with us tomorrow night when we do our recap show on Michael Fletcher's channel, Race Fan 95. So, and speaking of Michael Fletcher, I am joined by the one and only Cerebral Viper, Michael Fletcher. It's been one of the best days I've had in a long time, and if I have a little spring in my step, I think you all know why. So, well, Fletch, I think, knows why. But
yes, indeed, I know.
Had a very special day today with someone very, very special, to say the very least. Well, someone who's very special to me. So, yes, what a day it was indeed. And now the fun continues. And tomorrow night, of course, the WWE Network, as we all know, we got the big show tomorrow night, the 6th annual. Wow, I can't believe it's been already 6 years since they started this. My goodness, but the 6th year now for the WWE Elimination Chamber event. The first 4 years rather, 2010 through 13, those were on pay-per-view. And then last year's, of course, just as the WWE Network was, coming into its own, as you all know, and we got a pretty loaded card here. I mean, it looks like from top to bottom, I can honestly tell you, I think this is going to be, one of the better cards we've seen in a while. I mean, coming off of an above average, I do mean above average payback event just 2 weeks ago in Baltimore, Maryland, which we all thought was going to be a rather so event, but oh boy, did they surprise us! They surprised the hell out of us. All right, now I have the information. I do apologize. Very slow. I do have it's a little slow on my end, but yes. Elimination Chamber will be live tomorrow night from the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi, Texas. We have 6 matches on the card. There is no pre-show match. Hallelujah. Because normally these pre-show matches, some of them have been good. Other times they're rather meh. But when it comes to the pre-show feature segment, it's a lot better than a campy comedy old funky nonsense match. It's going to be Miz TV and his special guests, my idol, Michael Bullock's idol, and your idol as well, the leader of the Yes Movement, the one and only Daniel Bryan, the original Ridiculously Over Daniel Bryan. I'm number 2. But nonetheless, we have 6 matches on this card. We'll save the big title for last because I'm pretty sure that's going to be the main event. But I'm just going to go about this the best way I can. So let's start it off. What we'll do is we'll have the main event for the title. We're going to save that for last, as you know. That's how we always do it. And I'm also going to put the chamber matches before that too. So, but I want to get the minor stuff out of the way. And me being the gentleman that I am, I always like to say ladies first. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start it off with the ladies. We're going to start it off with the Divas. A triple threat match for the WWE Divas Championship. We're going to have Nikki Bella defending the title against Paige and Naomi, which should be rather interesting to say the very least. And I'm going to start it off like I always do on our show, The Wrestling Forum, which you can see Monday nights on any of our networks. Well, it's on one of 2 networks. It's either Derek's channel, SLB 2809, which it will be this Monday night. Very much looking forward to having him back. He's been gone for a few weeks. Or if I have to fill in, which I've done the last few weeks, right here on the Tone 25. So the Divas Championship on the line. Of course, as we all know, Nikki Bella's been the champion ever since Survivor Series when she took the title off of AJ Lee. And hold on, I'm just gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go how I'm gonna start it off with how Derek Ferreira did it because I found his sports blog. Check it out, by the way, if you haven't done so already. Oh, okay. You know what? Disregard anything that I said because I'm going to start it off. I'm going to go in the same order that Derek did, and I'm sure he won't mind my doing so. We'll get into the Divas in a little bit. We're actually going to start it off with. My guess is he's probably thinking this is going to be the first fight of the night. You know what? I think it's going to be the first fight of the night myself because I said
the tag team chamber.
The tag team, yes, that's how we're going to do it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to start it off. Yeah.
I think a lot of people believe that the tag team chamber is probably going to start off. That they were thinking either it was going to be the Intercontinental, but the tag team, but the consensus, even my 2184 crew was believing that the tag team chamber was probably going to start this off. So go ahead, kid. It's all yours.
All right. So I'm going to start it off with the first of the two Elimination Chamber matches. For the first time in the history of the Elimination Chamber, tag teams are going to compete in this thing. The WWE Tag Team Championship will be on the line. Champions The New Day versus the Lucha Dragons versus Tyson Kidd and Cesaro versus the Primetime Players versus the Ascension and versus Los Matadores. This is going to be one of the best fights of the night. I mean, this thing is going to be crazy. It's going to be chaotic. And quite frankly, I cannot wait to see how this all pans out. I mean, I expect a lot. And I know Fletch will agree with me on this. I expect a lot of 6 spots in this one. This thing's going to be a spot fest. And quite frankly, we're going to see things in that chamber like we've never seen it before. I mean, in the almost 13 years, I can't believe it's been 13 years already since the structure debuted. My gosh, but oh man, and Derek made a good point in his preview blog. He said that WWE Creative has to be careful on how to book this match with so many wrestlers inside the chamber. But with Kofi Kingston, excuse me, got a little thing in my throat here. Kofi, Cesaro, Kidd, and the Luchas. There's a reason why this match will be amazing.
Kid, do you want me to take over so you can clear your throat?
No, I got it.
Okay.
I got it. No, I get that most days. But yeah, with Kofi, Cesaro, Kidd, and the Luchas, there's a reason why this fight's going to be amazing. We're going to get those chamber spots. It's a very tough match to call, but you know what? Here's how I see it. Los Matadores, forget about it. You really think they're gonna put the title on a lame ass tag team? No thanks. Ascension. A few months ago, if you had done this match a few months ago, I would have said yes. But as of late, they're gone. Forget it. Primetime Players. I mean, that'd be a great story. You know, they reunited. Some time ago, but I don't see them winning it. So to me, it's between the New Day, the Luchas, and Kidd and Cesaro. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to eliminate the Luchas. I mean, don't worry. I think the Luchas are going to get their day. They're going to get their day. There's no question about it. I just don't know when that day is at this time. But I eventually see Sin Cara and Kalisto becoming WWE Tag Team Champions at some point. So that leaves the New Day and Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. Wow. Very tough to call. New Day, I'll admit it. When the gimmick first started, I was not sold on it whatsoever. But over the last few weeks, brother, they have been unbelievable. They have been, I mean, since turning them heel, I think the heel turn did wonders for them. I really do. I mean, nobody likes them. IWC, crapped all over them. But nonetheless, they won the titles at Extreme Rules, beating Kidd and Cesaro. I mean, there's no question that Kidd and Cesaro in the New Day You know, they've been feuding for a while now, and I've always said that there's money in babyface challengers chasing heel champions. One part, my gut is telling me to go with the New Day, but my heart is telling me to go with Cesaro and Tyson Kidd to regain the WWE Tag Team Championships. I mean, you want to give the crowd a hot moment here. And to be honest with you, I mean, I could see this card being dominated mostly by the heels. I mean, I think this is going to be a heel night, to be honest with you. I only see, when it comes to this, I have 4 heels and 2 faces going over. And I think this is the case where it's one of them. I'm going to listen to my gut here, even though to be honest, I love going with my heart more. But this is one time I'm not going to listen to my heart here. I would love to see Cesaro and Tyson Kidd regain the titles. I mean, I love their body of work. I think they're the best tag team there is, but there's just something telling me that about the New Day. I got this weird, iffy feeling. The New Day is going to find a way. They're probably going to pull some heel shenanigans, I'm sure. But nonetheless, I got the New Day walking out of the Elimination Chamber. In front of it, I got them walking out of that 10 tons of steel, the 2 miles of chains, you know, and that punishing and also punishing steel grid, which I cringe every time I see somebody take a bump on that. I mean, I honestly had a dream recently that I was in that thing, and Fletch, you were in there too, and we were the last 2. And oh boy, did we have a lot of fun on that steel grid. Oh, we had a lot of fun on that, brother. Let me tell you, that grid is not fun. I don't care what anybody says. That grid is punished. But nonetheless, New Day is walking out of Satan's structure, the belly of the beast, if you will. New Day, still the WWE Tag Team Champions. However, I would not be surprised in the least if Tyson Kidd and Cesaro were to walk out with the titles. Derek Ferrera thinks they're going to become the new champs. I'm sorry, Derek. With all due respect, I have to respectfully disagree with you. I got to say it's the New Day. I think they're the best thing going in the tag team division right now, and I think it's still a little too soon to take the titles off of them. So give me the New Day to walk out still the WWE Tag Team Champions after the most unusual and one of the most exciting and unique Elimination Chamber matches we'll ever see. New Day wins. Michael Fletcher, good old MF, who you got?
Well, you know what, Anthony, and you know what? I just want to give you guys a brief little breakdown about this Elimination Chamber fight because you want to talk about unique formats. Listen to this. They're going to it's 6 tag teams. 4 tag teams are going to be paired in, and they're going to be thrown into pods. The 2 are going to start, and they're actually going to start in tornado tag team style. So that means both men are going to be fighting each other in this match when the match begins. Now, we don't know what the intervals are going to be. We don't know if it's going to be 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. But whenever the period ends, another team will enter at random, and that's how the match will continue. And here's the very important part of this fight. There are no disqualifications, no countouts. You can only win by pin or submission. Here's the factor, and here's a major key in the fight as well. When one person of that team is pinned or submitted, the entire team is eliminated. They are out. Last team standing wins the tag team titles. Now, here's the thing. Anthony has gone on record and he believes that the New Day is going to win. Derek Ferrera, based on his sports blog, has gone on record and believes that Cesaro and Tyson Kidd will win. That gives us the wrestling form age-old question, who do I go with? Well, I have to go with Anthony Florio. I agree the New Day will win and successfully defend the tag team titles. And the reason why I believe it's going to happen is because I truly believe there is going to be some shenanigans that's going to be occurring because I believe they are going to expose the Freebird rule and some way, somehow, the New Day is going to get that third member in there. He's going to be fresh as a whistle, and he's going to either backdoor his way, doing the dreaded roll up of doom, or we could have something a la what happened at Payback, where basically the referee is going to be preoccupied with everything that's going on, with the chaos amongst. And I think the third member of the New Day is going to slip in through the door, unbeknownst to the referees, and you're going to get the 1, 2, 3 and the steal of the victory. So I truly believe that, yes, I could see Kid and Cesaro win it. I just don't believe any of the other teams, except maybe the primetime players, because they have been getting quite a push lately and they're looking pretty good. But I do believe right now, if you want the best tag team in the division, you've got to go with the New Day. They got enough monster heel heat that gives them the opportunity that fans will dislike them even more after this is all said and done. So I am with you, Anthony Florio. I believe the New Day will successfully defend and will retain the WWE Tag Team Championship. With that said, let's move on.
Feel the power of the New Day. All right, here we go. Moving on to our next matchup here. Michael Fletcher is going to start it off. It's going to be Neville going one-on-one with Bo Dallas. So, Michael Fletcher, who you got?
Well, here's the reason why. Here's something here. Of course, Bo Dallas has been on the bad side of Adrian Neville lately, getting under his skin about the Bo leave and everything else because, as everybody knows, Adrian Neville made quite a great run in the King of the Ring tournament, made it to the final, only to lose to the eventual King Barrett. And, Bo Dallas is like, well, even though you did lose, and you are quite a fictional superhero character, I can give the people what they want if they believe. Now, Neville is not shy about mixing it up with anybody and getting into the wars and the battles and whatnot. And at the end of the day, Adrian Neville is definitely a rising star in WWE. I think we can all agree this guy is a future champion in waiting. I don't believe he's going to be WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Don't quote me on that. However, I do believe maybe at the end of the year he could become an Intercontinental or United States champion. Now, I know a lot of people are like, but wait a minute, I think John Cena is the US champion. That'll never work. I believe Cena will lose the belt later this year, possibly at SummerSlam. That will open the opportunity for Neville to get the shot and to take the belt. And that's why I believe that will happen. But as far as Bo Dallas, they're repackaging him. And they're trying to give him an opportunity. He's been out with an injury. This is technically his first official pay-per-view event return. So we're going to wait and see what Bo Dallas brings to the table. Now, if you remember the days of NXT, now you have to really watch NXT on the WWE Network when it first started. These two men had a tremendous rivalry, and one of their matches was even considered a match of the year candidate when Neville fought Bo Dallas in a ladder match for the NXT title. And that fight was literally 4.5 stars on the verge of 5 for that night. I don't believe we'll get a 5-star classic in this fight. I don't believe we're going to get a 4-star classic in this fight. But I think this could be, if it's booked correctly, a solid 3 to 3.5 stars, and definitely could be a sleeper fight of the night in my eyes. But at the end of the day, I got to give it to the man that gravity forgot. I'm going with Neville to win. It's just one of those matches that is going to be highly anticipated. Yes, it wasn't booked greatly, but trust me, if these two guys come in with that guns blazing, that heart of the warriors, like I know these two guys can, and if they give us at least I'll say about 50 or 75% of the NXT flavor that they gave us In that fight, trust me, you're in for a treat, to say the very least. Give me the man of gravity you forgot. Give me Neville to win. Florio, it's yours.
100% agree, Michael Fletcher. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about this one. Adrian Neville is going over. There is, like I said, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I mean, it's obvious. This to me is the easiest call when it comes to this card. I mean, well, one of two easy calls. If I'm going to be honest with you, I mean, yeah, the Bo Dallas character, everybody knows it's tired. It's as stale as moldy bread. Everybody knows that, my old saying. But yeah, nobody really into it, and a lot of, and I know Fletch is one of those folks who doesn't like the character, as am I, and I know Bullet's probably the same way if he was with us. I don't know how Derek feels, but to me, I think it's going to be a solid matchup here. I mean, I also am aware of the rivalry they had in NXT over the NXT Heavyweight Championship, which Adrian Neville took from Bo Dallas in a ladder match on one of the first NXT specials. And yeah, and I do agree, Flash. That match was 4.5 to 5 stars. I mean, that was a damn good match, and one of the many reasons why NXT is the best thing going in professional wrestling today. You heard that here first. But then again, I think you folks already knew that. So, but nonetheless, I don't think this fight's not going to be anywhere near the caliber of that fight. I really don't see this thing being 4.5 to 5. I think it's going to be more like maybe 2 to 2.5. If I'm being honest with you. But nonetheless, I do agree with Michael Fletcher. I got Adrian Neville going over. No doubt about this. So with that said, let's move on to our next matchup here. And oh boy, what a big one we got here. Champion versus champion. We have United States Heavyweight Champion John Cena versus the NXT Heavyweight Champion Kevin Owens. And oh my, what a fight this is going to be. I mean, this is going to be this is going to be, you want to talk about be a man fight? We always talk about be a man fights on the wrestling forum. And I know Michael Fletcher is going to agree with me with what I'm about to say here. And if he doesn't, I'm going to be shocked. But Fletcher, I know you'll agree with me on this when I say, I expect this to be the very epitome of the words be a man fight. This is going to be, like I said, this is going to be maybe the most physically intense, the most smash mouth, physical, hit you in the mouth, smash straight up, be a man fight. And that is exactly how I see this matchup going down. I mean, it's going to be one of the top fights of the night. I have no question about this. I think we're looking at 3.5 to 4 stars. That's how I feel about it. And as far as the tag team chamber, I got that being about 3.5 to 4 as well. I expect this to be a 3.5 to 4, maybe even 4.25, if I'm being honest with you, because I think this is going to be, like I said, there's going to be some great near falls. The physicality is going to be at an all-time high. It's going to be so intense, and I know for Michael Fletcher, this is going to be a fight that I know he's got a very vested interest in. Everybody knows. We coined the term "be a man fight" in honor of Michael Fletcher. I mean, Fletcher and I, we talk on the phone all the time, and we always say, whenever there's a certain fight that ends up being as physically intense and as smash mouth intense as you'll ever see, we had to put a term together, and I'm the one who came up with the term "be a man fight," and that's exactly what this is going to be. This is going to be, like I said, we've seen a lot of be a man fights. There have been a lot of be a man fights over the years, and we've enjoyed every one. But to me, I think it's going to rank right up there as one of the greatest be a man fights of all time. You heard that here first. Oh man, this is a tough one to call. I mean, the gut's telling, this is another gut heart situation. My gut's telling me John Cena. My heart is telling me Kevin Owens. Derek Ferreira says John Cena will win this thing via disqualification. I could honestly see that. playing out, to be honest. I mean, there could be a moment where Kevin Owens will get too intense, or he could, bring a weapon in, and he'll use a weapon and get disqualified, and it'll keep the feud going. But Derek also made a great point in his blog by saying this: there's one major wild card, there's one major X factor when it comes to this fight, and that is a gentleman who was one of the biggest mainstays in the history of total nonstop action wrestling, Impact Wrestling. A man who won every single title they have to offer. You know where I'm going with this. The wild card in all of this is going to be, and another one of Michael Fletcher's all-time personal favorites, the Samoan submission machine himself, Samoa Joe. Watch out. He shows up, he's gonna kill somebody. We all know the saying, Joe's gonna kill you. You know the routine. Will he show up? He may not, because remember, Joe's here in Rhode Island. He was booked for 2 independent shows here in Rhode Island for the XWA and Beyond Wrestling. Yeah. They want to put Owens over in some fashion. They don't want to bury him yet. I mean, we all know John Cena has, a very bad reputation for burying up-and-coming talent. I mean, case in point, Bray Wyatt, killed his momentum after last year's program, from WrestleMania 30 on. And then some are saying that he's killed the momentum of Rusev. And, so is John Cena going to add Kevin Owens to that list of up-and-coming talent that he's going to hold back? Because, he killed Bray Wyatt's momentum. He killed Rusev's momentum. But I don't know. Someone tells me this is not going to be a one-time thing. This is going to be a major feud. This is going to be a blood feud. And for this to be a real feud, Owens has to drop the NXT heavyweight title at some point. The number one contender for that title as of right now is Finn Balor. Because remember, Finn Balor won a number one contenders match on the Unstoppable show. And I think Finn Balor is, whenever Finn Balor and Kevin Owens get together for the title, I think Finn Balor is going to win the belt. You heard it here first. That's how I feel about it. And then that'll leave Owens free to come to the WWE, be a full-time WWEer, and then this can be a nice summer feud, a nice summer program for these two. So I'm actually going to agree with Derek's theory here. I'm going to say John Cena wins this thing via disqualification. Because I don't see this thing ending here. I don't see it. I see this thing. This thing's going to be far from over after tomorrow night. So Cena wins, but by disqualification. But damn it to hell, this is going to be one of the greatest Be a Man fights you will ever see. So with that said, Michael Fletcher, Be a Man fights. These are your specialty. Have at it here.
All right. I'm sorry if the connections. I hope the connection will hold for me, and I hope you guys are listening to me right now. But this is going to be a great fight, no doubt about it. A Be a Man fight, no doubt about it. This is going to be a brawl. Kevin Owens started it. Doing 2 pop-up power bombs on John Cena in consecutive weeks. Booking 101 would say Cena wins this fight, and I do agree with that. But I do believe I could see Owens either getting disqualified, or he just might take the ball and run home, and Cena gets a count out victory. Owens will fight his fight and do it his own way. And if he believes that he's not going to get the advantage or he's not going to win this fight, he's going to walk. And he could walk out on this fight, pissing off the IWC, pissing off a lot of the fans. But Kevin Owens only does it just to get paid, and that's all he does. He doesn't care about nobody else but himself. And at the end of the day, to give Owens that same face, I could see him, do a count out victory where he just basically, walks out on the fight. Cena gets upset, because he doesn't fulfill his end of the bargain, but he does win the match. But then I could see Owens come back out, jump Cena, do another pop up power bomb, and then try to do a beatdown. And maybe at that point we see Samoa Joe, and that'd be a surprise for the IWC and for everybody else that Joe actually invades the WWE ring. And then anything, all bets are off. We'll wait and see what happens in that aspect. But I do believe Joe and Owens are on a collision course. I believe they will face off with each other sooner rather than later. But as far as this fight goes, yeah, I agree, Flair. This is going to be a be-a-man fight. This is going to be an excellent knockdown, drag out. Don't expect any high-flying uh, theatrics in this one. This is going to be ground and pound UFC style, in your face. I'm going to kick your butt if you don't like it. That's my style, and that's the way I like to see a fight. I like to see it get, just drop the hammers and let's just go. Drop the gloves and let's just go, a la an NHL hockey fight or anything like that. This is my style of fight. Just bare knuckle. Just kill each other. You know, until somebody cries uncle. Let's just say that. So, yes, Cena wins, but I got him winning by either count out or disqualification. I don't believe this is going to be a clean finish or a clean victory. I do believe Owens will pull something out of the rabbit's hat, and it's gonna upset the IWC. Cena wins, but it's gonna need to be by count out or DQ. Flair, is yours.
All right. Moving on to our next matchup. Now we're going to talk about the Divas. Triple threat match for the WWE Divas Championship. Nikki Bella defending the title against Paige and Naomi. Michael Fletcher, do you lead off on this one? Yeah, you do. Michael Fletcher. Yeah, Michael Fletcher, your thoughts on the Divas?
You know what, Anthony? I have to say it. To me, this is the most easiest decision for me out of the entire card. Some of them, you kind of don't really know how it's going to play out. You don't know about a lot of the things going down tomorrow night. This one, to me, is the most easiest decision. Naomi is winning the title tomorrow night. I truly believe in my heart of hearts, Naomi's time is now. I truly believe tomorrow night, Naomi will finally realize her dream, and we are going. Nikki Bella has been champion. You even said it since Survivor Series, and I truly believe she'll have a good showing. I think Paige, she just got back. I think they're going to make her chase the belt a little while longer before. I do believe Paige will get the belt back sometime later in the year. This time around, it's Naomi's time. She's worked pretty hard enough. They were thinking of putting the belt on her once, and then she got hurt due to Oksana, and there was a broken orbital bone in near the eye socket, and that really hampered her injury and put her out of action for a while. And it was well chronicled on the Total Divas show. Yeah, I know we can say a lot of junk about the Total Divas, but the Total Divas show actually gave us a glimpse into what happened to Naomi and the severity of the injury and why she was practically out of action for that a long amount of time. And it really emphasized how devastating that injury was. So it magnified it tenfold, and we finally understood what happened. It wasn't a dirt sheet. It wasn't from anything that we would hear from either Metzer or Jason Powell or, one of the guys from 411mania.com or any of these other sites. We got to see the ugly side of that injury and saw it with our own two eyes. And now Naomi has worked her way up. She's now a heel diva, probably one of the best heel divas we've had in a long time. And now she is on the precipice of making history. And she could become the newest Divas champion in WWE history. And So this is a major, major, major opportunity that I think we all believed that she should have gotten a long time ago. Now this could be the moment that we've all been waiting for. To me, I think it's time for a change in the Divas division. I think it's time for Naomi to reign as champion, and I believe she will be a very good heel champion. And plus, with some other great talent in the company as it pertains to Paige. And then, of course, who knows? We might even see some other NXT divas come up in the near future. I think that the women's division or the divas division, pardon me, has very bright future to say the very least. So what I believe is Paige will go down on this. I think she will be pinned by Naomi. That keeps space for Nikki Bella, where she could immediately ask for the rematch clause. I believe Naomi will win it. She'll pin Nikki Bella with the rear view, and we will indeed have a brand new WWE Divas champion. Naomi wins the gold. Anthony, it's yours.
Yeah. Nikki Bella's held the title since Survivor Series. I think it's high time her time ends with it. No disrespect to her, but I think it's time to make a new star in the Divas division. I think time is indeed now. I 100% agree with you, Michael Fletcher. I too have Naomi winning the Divas Championship tomorrow night at Elimination Chamber in Corpus Christi. I mean, I think since there's only 6 matches booked here, I think this fight's going to get a fairly decent amount of time. If I'm being quite honest with you, I mean, I could see this thing getting a good 10 minutes. If I'm being honest, maybe 10 to 15, maybe we'll see. But I expect all 3 ladies to work their what's off, and I expect this to be one of those hashtag give divas a chance fight. I really do. I think this is going to be one of the better diva fights we've seen. The last few weeks, it's been kind of back to the old, ho hum diva matches as of late, on TVs, like your Raws and your SmackDowns and whatnot. But I don't see that here. I see this thing going. I see this going down as one of the better diva title matches we've seen in a while, and because of that, and yeah. There's no question about it. Naomi's going to win the belt. I think in 2 weeks at Money in the Bank in Columbus, Ohio, at the Nationwide Arena, I think we're going to have a rematch with Naomi and Nikki Bella, because I see Nikki Bella cashing in her invoking her rematch clause, rather. And then Naomi will go over there. And then summertime, we're going to have ourselves a nice little summer feud. Naomi and Paige for the Divas Championship. From Battleground to SummerSlam, maybe Night of Champions, I don't know. But for right now, I 100% agree with Michael Fletcher. Naomi's time is now. She should have won the title a long time ago, about a year or so ago. She should have won that thing. And that's why I have Naomi win the title. And she's going to hold that thing for quite a while. So, unfortunately, we've lost Michael Fletcher. So, not to worry. We're going to continue on with our Elimination Chamber preview show. 2 more matches left. And coming up next, we're going to talk about it. The big one for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. It's the champion, Seth Rollins, going up against Dean Ambrose. This is going to be another one of the top fights of the night. I mean, these 2 guys, they have a great history with each other. They've had some great matches in the past. I mean, who will ever forget that lumberjack match from last year's SummerSlam? I mean, that thing was absolutely chaotic. And then, of course, the Hell in a Cell match, which I thought was, one of the better Hell in a Cell matches we've seen in a while. I know a lot of people are expecting me to save this fight for last, but apparently Derek Ferreira knows something that we don't about the other Elimination Chamber fight. So that's why we're going to save that for last, because that's how he has it on his blog, so I'm going off that. Fletch, you're back in. We're talking about the WWE World Heavyweight Championship matchup with Seth Rollins against Dean Ambrose, and yeah, I fully expect this to be one of the top fights of the night. I'm looking at 4 to 4.25 stars based on these two guys' body of work. I mean, the matches they've had have been so great, and I expect this to be another instant classic between two of the top and best young talents in WWE today. You know, Rollins is the best thing going right now, if I'm being honest with you. That smarky heel. I mean, since he won the title when he won the title at WrestleMania, I gotta say it. He brought a much needed breath of fresh air to the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. If you remember, Brock Lesnar, he held it for 223 days, and he only defended it, 4 times in that span? You know, from Night of Champions to the Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. So that was about, 3 or 4 times he defended the title. But put it on Rollins, which I thought was a fantastic idea, because everybody was pissing all over Roman Reigns, as we all know. Mainly the IWC. They didn't want to see Roman Reigns go over. I mean, we all thought, going into WrestleMania, we all thought Roman Reigns was going to win the belt. But it was Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins cashed in Money in the Bank. First time ever in the history of WrestleMania since that concept started. And that was it. Seth Rollins won the belt and brought some much needed fresh air back into that title. You have a champion who can defend on a monthly pay-per-view basis, and the title will be seen every week, which is also a good thing. So this is once again another gut heart situation. My gut obviously telling me Seth Rollins is going to win the belt, but there's a little piece of my heart that's telling me Dean Ambrose could make history and become the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. I mean, what a great story that would be. I mean, Dean Ambrose was my guy in the Shield. I mean, because of his body of work, and I would love to see Dean Ambrose win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And I'll even go as far as to say, someday, somewhere down the line, within I think the next year or so, I think Dean Ambrose will become a WWE World Heavyweight Champion in the very near future, and you can believe that. But for right now, as much as I want to see Dean Ambrose win the title, and I do, Seth Rollins is going over. This is another easy pick for me. Seth Rollins is going to go over, and you know why he's going to go over, don't you? Those two dreaded words: authority shenanigans. Why do I have this feeling? Authority shenanigans are going to rule the roost one more time, and Seth Rollins is going to walk out of Corpus Christi, Texas, as still the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. It's going to be one of the fights of the night, if not the fight of the night. This thing is going to be absolutely fantastic. I got it as 4 to 4.25 stars, but we'll see how it goes. But Rollins wins. He successfully defends the title. Why? Authority shenanigans. What else is new? Michael Fletcher, WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Your thoughts on the big one? Fletch? Fletch, you there? All right. We will eventually get Michael Fletcher's thoughts on this matchup here. Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I don't know. Well, it says I mean, I see his avatar, but I don't know, and his mic's not muted, so I don't know if he's got something going on, or if he's on the phone or something. I don't know, but nonetheless, we'll get Fletcher's thoughts on the championship match in just a moment. But now, Fletcher there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
I'm sorry.
No problem. Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Your thoughts on the big one?
Well, I was gonna allude to it, and it seems like my connections being hijacked by the authority. It seems like the authority doesn't want to hear what I have to say. Surprising. But anyway, um, here's the thing. The one thing we always talked about is that when we do authority shenanigans, it takes the life out of the title fights, and we've been pissing all over it. Um, every each time we've seen a fight, shenanigans has always occurred, and we always go nuts. And it's gonna happen again tomorrow night. Even though this is supposed to be a great main event, no doubt about it, it's gonna be J&J Security and Kane and who else who's gonna try to sneak in to try to help the authority keep the belt on Rollins because that's what they quote is best for business. Yes, I believe Rollins is gonna win the fight. Yes, I believe there's gonna be authority shenanigans. But as far as it being 4 stars or anything like that, I don't think so, Anthony. I think the shenanigans is gonna be so blatant. It's gonna suck the life out of this fight. It did it against Randy Orton when they had the one-on-one fight. It did it when they had that main event when they fought in the cage. There was authority shenanigans. There was a lot of shenanigans in the triple threat fight between when there was the fatal 4 way. There was a lot of shenanigans in that fight too. So at the end of the day, that fight's gonna suck the life out of it. It's gonna stink, and I dread the worst. And this is why I don't like Rollins as the champion. And don't get me wrong, I love Rollins as a competitor, and I think he is gifted and talented and amazing. But when you have the authority sticking their nose where it doesn't belong, it feels like a TNA main event, and that should not happen at all. Rollins wins by cheating again, thanks to the authority. Florio, it's yours.
I actually came across something here just a moment ago in regards to Kevin Owens. Fight Owens fight. You'll be hearing more of that soon on WWE television, as it's being reported that Kevin Owens has signed a new WWE deal that will put him on the main roster going forward. He will be at all the television shows and non-televised live events with the big boys starting soon, and will also be doing a few NXT shows, including the televised ones, to build up his match against Finn Balor for the NXT Heavyweight Championship. And you remember he debuted at, of course, the Our Evolution show when Sami Zayn, when Sami Zayn won the belt from Adrian Neville in that unforgettable 5-star classic, which, according to Michael Fletcher and Derek Ferreira, they felt that was their match of the year for 2014. And I probably should have considered that myself. But nonetheless, here we go. Just thought I'd share that with you real quick. But here we go. According to Derek Ferreira, I don't know if this is official or not, but I don't know if he's saying that this is going to be the main event, but he says that it will be the main event of the WWE Network special, which he's extremely happy about. So my guess is this is going to be the main event of the evening, the second Elimination Chamber match. This one is for the vacated Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship. It's Sheamus. It's Ryback. It's R-Truth. It's King Barrett. It's Rusev. And it's Dolph Ziggler. Michael Fletcher, your thoughts on this big one right here? Vacant Intercontinental title. Who's going to walk out with the new belt?
This is because all bets are off on this one. Actually, I do have a spoiler here, a major news bit that came out. I don't know if Flurry, you might know about this. Rusev might not be able to go. He did suffer an injury on SmackDown. He is listed as day-to-day. They're talking that it's a severe sprain. He did hurt his leg. I guess he was fighting Ryback for the 20 bajillion time, and he actually got hurt in that fight and injured his leg. And they don't believe he's gonna go. And actually, there is even a rumor going around that Bray Wyatt might be replacing Rusev in that chamber fight tomorrow night. So if that is the case, if that is true, now we got a whole, like, you want to talk about a landscape changing moment here. I mean, this is going to change the face of everything. So let's break it down like this. Number one, no way R-Truth's winning this fight. So he's already out. I'm not even picking him. Ziggler can make an argument, but I believe that they're gonna have him and Rusev and Ziggler fight after each other. So I believe Ziggler will be eliminated. That cancels him out. As far as Sheamus goes, he was originally my pick to go, but now I'm hearing, he's doing a movie right now. He's actually going to be a part of the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 movie. Plus, on top of that, I'm hearing that he might do a program with John Cena for the United States title, so that eliminates him. He's out. Now, once you get closer and closer to the final, I believe now, even though this wasn't my original pick, I have to pick this now. I believe King Barrett is winning the Intercontinental Championship. And the reason why is because he never lost the belt. He had to forfeit the belt due to injury, and he was basically out of the mix. He came back, he won King of the Ring, so that means in my heart of hearts, I believe King Barrett will realize his dream. He'll win the Intercontinental Championship, and Anthony, that will solidify him winning the King of the Ring by putting this belt around him tomorrow night as well. Tomorrow night. So my prediction is I believe King Wade Barrett will not only be king of the ring, but I believe he will become the new undisputed intercontinental heavyweight champion. King Barrett's my prediction. Florio, what's yours?
Well, before I get into that, Michael Fletcher, I have some breaking news from the world of sports.
Oh my goodness.
Finals are all set, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Ward, brother, I hope you are celebrating, my friend. I hope you're at your TV right now doing the yes, 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 a la Daniel Bryan. Ladies and gentlemen, Matt Ward has a reason to, our friend and colleague has a reason to celebrate. His Chicago Blackhawks are going back to the Stanley Cup Finals. They have defeated the Anaheim Ducks 5-3 in Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals at the Honda Center in Anaheim. So it is all set. It will be the Chicago Blackhawks and the Tampa Bay Lightning for the Stanley Cup. The series starts Wednesday night from the Amalie Arena in Tampa, Florida. Although Fletcher and myself, we would have preferred Madison Square Garden in New York City, but, it is what it is on that. But nonetheless, Chicago, Tampa Bay are going to battle for the most prestigious trophy in professional sports today. Wednesday night, we start that sucker, man. Once again, Fletcher and I wish it could have been our Rangers, but nonetheless, that's going to be one hell of a series. And brother, I cannot wait until Wednesday night. Can't get here fast enough. So there you go. Chicago Blackhawks going back to the Stanley Cup Finals, third time in the last 6 years. So Matt Ward, brother, congratulations, my man. And we're rooting for you. We're rooting for you. So there you go. All right. Now, as far as my prediction for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship Elimination Chamber matchup, wow. I do agree with Michael Fletcher when it comes to R-Truth. I mean, R-Truth, I think he's going to be the first one eliminated. There's no much ands or buts about that. Because I've been watching back the old Elimination Chamber matches recently, and almost every time R-Truth was in the chamber, he was darn near always the first one out. And I think that's not going to be an exception here. I think R-Truth's going to be the first one eliminated. There's no question about it. Of course, the health of Rusev, that's definitely a major concern. No question about that. So, if Rusev can't go, it would definitely make sense to put the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt, in the matchup as his replacement. Because, Rusev did suffer an injury. I believe it was an ankle injury during the SmackDown taping in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania this past week. So, if Rusev can't go, it's probably going to be Bray Wyatt, obviously. And I think that would make sense, given his recent feud with Ryback. I think they want to, keep that thing burning up a little bit. Coming off the payback fight those two had a couple of weeks ago, which was a very good match, surprisingly good match. I didn't think that thing was going to be any good. I thought it was going to be one of the worst fights of the night, but boy, howdy, they surprised us. So that was my sleeper fight of the night, by the way. So nonetheless, even if Bray Wyatt's in the fight, I don't have him winning, and I definitely don't have Ryback winning either, although it would be a great moment for him, considering that he's over with the fans, of course, feed me more, feed me more. You know that routine. So that leaves Barrett, Sheamus, and Ziggler. Maybe not Dolph Ziggler because, Dolph Ziggler, I think it's clear as day they're going to start a feud with him and Rusev, obviously over Lana. I think you can see that coming from a mile away. Okay, we got Michael Fletcher back in. I think the Lana thing is going to cancel out Ziggler and Rusev. So I think Ziggler and Rusev are out. So to me, it's down to King Barrett and Sheamus. I don't have any doubts about this one. Michael Fletcher, I respectfully disagree with you with all due respect. I do not see King Barrett coming out of this thing as the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion because my worst nightmares are being realized. I mean, and I even talked about this on the forum last Monday night. I said, and I quote, Barrett, he's been losing secondary matches again. He's been, jobbing out over the last few weeks. And I keep saying it, if you're going to push the man, you either want to push the man or you don't. And if you don't, stop wasting his time and stop wasting our time. Because, I mean, I agree, the man does deserve better. I mean, he would be only the second man to hold a championship while being the king. Y'all remember who the other one was. It was Booker T. 2006, he won the King of the Ring at Judgment Day, beating Bobby Lashley. And then 2 months later, at the Great American Bash, he took the World Heavyweight Championship from Rey Mysterio, thanks in large part to Chavo Guerrero. And at that point, King Booker was not only the King of the Ring, he was also the World Heavyweight Champion. And he held that title for 4 months before he eventually would drop it to Dave Bautista at that year's Survivor Series in Philadelphia. But if Barrett does win, he would be only the second man to hold the King of the Ring and a major championship at the same time. I mean, and to be right there with Booker T, King Booker, WWE Hall of Famer, one of the greatest of all time, one of the greatest talents of all time, and a personal favorite of mine. I mean, I loved his body of work, whether it was with the Harlem Heat or as a singles competitor. But I disagree. I just don't think Barrett's going to win. And my concern is this, and my major concern is this. If they do put the title on Barrett, as well, in addition to his King of the Ring win, the question is, are they going to keep pushing him like they should be pushing him? Have him win those, secondary matches on television. Don't have him lose almost damn near every week, or even twice in a week. And as I recall, he did that this week. He lost on Raw, as I recall. And to make matters worse, they had him go under to R-Truth on SmackDown. Okay, I'm very confused about that. I mean, why in the world would you do that? Because R-Truth, he's probably a done enhancement talent. And for the life of me, I still don't understand why he's in this fight. I mean, no disrespect to the man, but it's nothing personal. It's just that he doesn't belong in the fight. I'm sorry, he doesn't. But I mean, you could have called up a young man from NXT. I rather would have seen that, to be honest with you. But nonetheless, enough of my mini rant. I got to go with Sheamus. I think Sheamus is going to win, and I think Sheamus is going to be the new Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion because the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship, as I recall, that's the only title that has eluded Sheamus. Well, the tag team titles, but nonetheless, Sheamus has damn near done it all. He won the Royal Rumble in 2012. He's a former United States Heavyweight Champion. Actually, as I recall, I think Sheamus actually was the United States Heavyweight Champion at the same time he was King Sheamus. So Barrett would be the third. Booker was the first. Sheamus was the second. He was King Sheamus. He won the King of the Ring on that Monday Night Raw special. in November of 2010. That was also in Philadelphia. And then he took the United States Heavyweight Championship, and I believe he took it off of Daniel Bryan, as I recall, when Daniel Bryan had the title. But Barrett would be the third. But I'm sorry, Barrett, it's not going to be you. It's going to be Sheamus. You know, they turned him heel the night after WrestleMania. He's been on a tear. And considering that Daniel Bryan had to relinquish the title, I think it makes only sense. I think it makes the utmost sense to have Sheamus go over and win the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship to go along with his other great accomplishments. Like I said, 2012 Royal Rumble match winner, United States Heavyweight Champion, World Heavyweight Champion, which he also took from Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 28, that 18-second nonsense in Miami at Sun Life Stadium. And then, of course, the 2 times that he was the first ever Irish-born WWE champion when he went over John Cena, the TLC, 2009 in San Antonio. And I can remember reading Michael Fletcher's blog, because Michael Fletcher kept me informed with his Fletcher's Burning blogs, because I couldn't see the event. I didn't have a computer. I didn't have anything, set up at that time. But when I read that, I was shocked. I mean, that was when he beat Cena in that table fight for the title in San Antonio. I can honestly tell you, I honestly consider that one of the 10 greatest upsets in WWE history, because nobody had Sheamus win that thing. Everybody had Cena. Everybody and their mother had Cena, including me. And I know Fletch too. But that's just a little story I wanted to share. But 2-time WWE champion, World Heavyweight Champion, had a very lengthy run with it, held it for several months before he lost it to the Big Show, Hell in a Cell in Atlanta. And the United States Heavyweight Champion, Royal Rumble winner, 2012 in St. Louis. And now add Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion to his incredible Hall of Fame caliber resume. Sheamus, the winner, and Sheamus, to me, will be the new WWE Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion. So with that said, overall thoughts on this event? I mean, I think this is going to be a very good show. I really do. Derek Ferrer thinks it's going to be about a 7 out of 10. I'm honestly very optimistic about this event, because look at this. You got 2 chamber matches. Those are going to be at least 30 minutes apiece. Cena and Owens, that's going to be a man fight. That's going to be a knockdown, drag-out brawl. Rollins and Ambrose, that's always, how fun that thing's going to be. Come on now, because remember the Lumberjack match from SummerSlam last year, the Hell in a Cell match, and that unforgettable TV match they had in Montreal a couple weeks ago. Who will ever forget that awesome fight? The one that Ambrose won to get into the 4-way at Payback. Yeah. That's going to sell itself. My only concerns, the Diva fight, but then again, I'm not worried about the Diva fight. I think the Diva fight's going to be good. My only concern, though, is Neville against Bo Dallas. I'm not really sure how that one's going to play out, but we'll have to wait and see. Derek thinks 7 out of 10. I'm going to go a little bit higher. I'm going to say I'm looking at maybe 8 to 8.5 out of 10. That's how I feel this. I think if the chamber matches both deliver, which I think they're going to because of the 6 spots and everything else, especially those grid spots, and maybe we could get some broken glass from those pods, those Lexium pods. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have some fun with that. But the 2 chamber matches are both going to be awesome. Rollins and Ambrose, that sells itself right there, title or not. Owens and Cena, that's going to be freaking epic. That's going to be a man fight, one of the greatest be a man fights of all time. The Diva fight, I think, is going to be one of the better Diva fights we've seen in a while. So by default, I think the worst fight of the night is going to be Neville against Bo Dallas. And as far as the Daniel Bryan segment during the pre-show, I know it's probably not. I know it's not going to be Daniel Bryan saying, "Hey, I'm medically cleared. I can come back whenever I'm ready." But no, it's not going to be that. He's going to be there for one reason, and that's going to be to promote his upcoming DVD. Just say yes, 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 and you better believe I'm going to be all over that sucker when that thing comes out. You better believe that. So for me, my overall thought on the Elimination Chamber event, I think it's going to be, I think it's going to be an 8 to 8.5 out of 10. That's how strongly I feel about this card. I feel very optimistic about this card. and I'm definitely very much looking forward to this WWE Network special tomorrow night on the WWE Network. So, unfortunately, we've lost Michael Fletcher once again. I'm hoping we can get him back. Okay, there we go. Michael Fletcher, if you're all set to go, let's have your overall thoughts on the event. I think it's going to be an 8 to 8.5 out of 10. I don't know about you. What do you think about your overall thoughts on this network special tomorrow night?
I gotta go 7.5. I think it's gonna be a good event. The tag team chamber fight is gonna be the most interesting fight of all because we've never ever seen a tag team chamber match in the history of the WWE, and this is really gonna be revolutionary. I hope it comes off really good. I hope it comes off uh, amazing, and I do believe it will. I think Neville and Dallas will be all right. I think the Diva title fight has the makings of being a good fight. I don't know. From from the Cena and Owens fight, that could be really solid. I'm kind of a little nervous about the WWE title fight. I'm kind of nervous because of the authority. That's the only thing I'm worried about. And then, of course, the Elimination Chamber for the Intercontinental, it's got some exciting elements. I don't know if I'm going to be overly enthusiastic about it, but I do have a 7 to 7.5 as an overall rating for tonight, and that I believe it'll be a solid event. I hope it is, but we'll see how it plays out. Anthony, let's just wrap it up.
All right, and wrap it up we will. That will conclude our WWE Elimination Chamber 2015 preview edition of the Wrestling Forum. We appreciate you all joining us, and we thank you also very much for tuning in. Of course, tomorrow night at this time, this very time, tomorrow night, 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, come on over to Michael Fletcher's channel, Braves Fan 95, as he, myself, and Michael Bullock will all be here. We will have our complete recap of the WWE Elimination Chamber 2015 WWE Network special live on the network tomorrow night from the American Bank Center in Corpus Christi, Texas. So join us for that. And then, of course, Monday night, the Wrestling Forum on Derek Ferrera's channel, SLB 2008-09. And what a great way to conclude what has been, one of the better days I've had in a long time. So, all right, that's going to do it for me and for Michael Fletcher. So for the Cerebral Viper, Michael Fletcher, I am ridiculously over Anthony Florio saying, you know the routine, everybody. Thumbs up. Talk to you later. Yeah. Throw it up Fortune 4 style. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. And until tomorrow night on Michael Fletcher's channel for our Chamber Recap Show, you've been watching the Elimination Chamber 2015 preview edition of the Wrestling Forum right here on the Tone 25. Bye for now, my friends. God bless. Be good to each other. Anthony Florio. So long.